Stay tuned for Airgun Detectives.
Welcome to a special episode of Airgun Detectives. This is our Rare and Unusual series. And I'm your host, JC. And today, what do we have? This is something very rare and very unusual. And because my buddy Mike Melick loaned this to me, I get to show it to you. This is called the SS2. What's the SS2? We'll get into that in just a minute. But before we get started here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down there in the corner. Doesn't cost you anything. It's absolutely free, but it really does help support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, check out my website, www.airgundetectives.com. On that site, I've got various t-shirts, got some hats, have our Generation 2 bipods for those of you guys who want to put some bipods on your brake barrels. We've made that possible. Also, for those of you who shoot the Gamma rifles with a cat or sat trigger, we have the Gamma trigger screw kit, which will turn that trigger into match style trigger. It really will. Let's get back to the subject on hand. This is our SS2. And the company that makes this, I am not even going to attempt to pronounce it. I'm just going to show it to you. So check that out. That's the company that makes that. What is this? Well, it's an Olympic grade pistol for a 10-meter competition, target competition. And it is an absolute clone of the, ready for this? The Feinwerkbau. Yeah, got to say that word again. The Feinwerkbau 65. This is the exact clone of that specific pistol. And what is this? It's a spring piston. And it's a side cocking spring piston. But the best part of it, there's no felt recoil. So it's a zero recoil is felt on this. And it has kind of a slide on there, very minor slide. You can see it when I shoot it. It'll just slightly come back, but it takes all the recoil away. You don't feel it at all. The pistol is about 3 pounds. Again, it is a spring piston with the side cocking arm. The cocking effort on it is about 16 pounds, about 16 pounds. The rear sights here, they call it the micrometer knobs because they're very fine-tuned to be able to adjust the windage and elevation. There's a knob down there, then obviously there's one right here on this side as well. The overall pistol is about 15 inches. It's got a 7.5-inch barrel. And again, I don't cover it, but it's about 3 pounds. It's roughly about 3 pounds. Again, though, it's zero recoil felt, which is pretty amazing. And again, my buddy Mike of Flying Dragon Airguns, or air rifles, I should say. By the way, Mike, his website doesn't really work so much, so I am going to leave you his email address and his phone number. If you guys are interested in any airgun, basically, he can get for you, but he also tunes them. He does special things to them. I'm telling you, the guy is an absolute genius when it comes to air guns. So I'll leave you guys that information down there in the comments. So if you want to reach out to Mike, just let him know I sent you. I'm telling you, he will take care of you. He really will. But the knowledge that guy has when it comes to air guns is amazing. It really is. Anyway, this has this beautiful wood grip on it. And you look at the finish on that. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. And it's got the thumb rest on it. So you hold this. They do this in competition. They hold this one-handed. I don't know how they do it. I had to be younger. Maybe prior to shoulder surgeries, I could probably do that. But this is an Olympic grade 10-meter competition pistol. And again, I'll say this is the clone of the Feinwerkbau. So let's go out and shoot this, show you guys the performance, and then we'll come out and talk about it. But again, this is definitely one rare and unusual pistol. So let's go ahead and move on. All right, let's test our SS2, our 65 clone over the Crony. Just shoot 5 shots, just give you guys an idea what the velocity is on this. We're just going to shoot the Diablo Basics. They're just a 7-grain wad cutter. And we'll just shoot 5 shots and we'll just see what the velocity is on average here. All right. Shot number 1. .430. Yeah, there's absolutely no felt recoil in this whatsoever. Shot number 2. See, I keep the arm down here in case for some reason, but to go forward it'll get caught here. And my finger, I'll be able to keep them, which is kind of nice. Okay, shot number 2 here. 427. Shot number 3. .446. That one jumped up a little bit. Mike tuned this thing completely. Put new seals in it, the whole bit, so I'm sure it still needs some time to break in. Alright. Should be shot number 4. 436. And one more. 441. Well, there you go. There is your average. You can check out your average velocity there and your small foot-pounds of energy, but it's there anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, time for a little accuracy with our SS2 here. What we're going to shoot is the H&N Final Match lights. These are a 7.87 grain pellet, but these are pretty accurate stuff. Plus, they're the wad cutter, and I like the impression and the hole they leave in the targets. Speaking of targets, what are we going to be using? We're going to be using our 8-inch splatterburst. Okay, and I'll just be aiming dead center. We're going to try to group this as best as we can. It's open sights. They're just metal sights. Nothing overly special. Go ahead and check out our distance. We're at 10-meter distance, roughly is 11 yards there. Go ahead and check out our target there. Anyway, so we're just going to shoot 5 shots, and let's just see how well we can group this thing. Not making any promises. I'm not. I did some okay groups off camera. Let's see what we can do on camera. All right. And let's get a pellet in there. There we go. Okay, shot number 1. I'll take that. Shot number 2. Not too shabby. Shot number 3. Oops. There we go. Shot number 4. And one more. Shot number 5. You know, looking at this target, I should have used one of the small ones. I just didn't. I wanted the nice big red dot to aim at. Let's see. That's a heck of a group. There's no question about that. This thing is, whoa, is this thing accurate. And that zero, you feel zero recoil on this thing whatsoever. So, not too shabby. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's test out our SS2 here and see what type of pull weight we have on the trigger. It's a pretty smooth trigger, I have to tell you. So we do have our trusty Lyman trigger gauge here. Got that reset. Let's just see how well this breaks. All right, gotta get on here. 2 pounds, 2 ounces. 2 pounds, 2 ounces. Yeah, it is a sweet little trigger. There's no question about that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's do a little plinking with our SS2. And we already know the gun's accurate, right? It's just, what can I do with it when we're plinking? Can we have some fun with it? I think so. Hey, we're going to shoot the Final Match lights once again. 7.87 grain, most accurate pellet. in this pistol. Got my extra pellets here. We're same distance as we did our accuracy. We are left roughly 11 yards, which is roughly 10 meters. Go ahead, check that out. I just got 5 targets. We got 3 20 gauge shotgun shells, yes, smaller diameter than the 12. Some little droplet, an old droplet thing, and a little chicken. So we're gonna see if we can knock those down. I got plenty of pellets, so we're not gonna quit until everything's knocked down. That's for sure. Again, we do know how accurate this is. Let's just see what I can do with it. Okay, we'll start, let's just start at the left side and we'll work our way to the right. Man, those look a lot smaller when you're from here. All right. That was one. That's why I just put 5 targets up here for you guys, because I want to be here all day. All right. Next shotguns. Yeah, this thing is just open sights. It's that accurate. All right. Third shotgun shell. And we've got 2 more here. Let's see. Because this thing takes a second to load. All right, that little plastic bottle of sorts. This thing hits hard. Remember, it's shooting over 400 feet per second with these heavier pellets. Last but not least, the little bird. And no recoil. That's the best part of this thing. There is no felt recoil in this gun at all. All right, let's see if we can get our little birdie. And we did. But like I said, this thing is so accurate. I just had to do my part with that. But incredible little pistol. It really is. But let's go ahead and wrap this up with our conclusion. All right, let's wrap this up with our conclusion. I'll tell you, this is one really nice pistol. For the Feinwerkbau 65 clone, we're just calling it the SS2 because that's about as much as I can pronounce on this. But this thing is just, I mean, it looks like it just came out of the box. It's just so beautiful. But again, these were designed for the 10 meter Olympic competition for targets. And those guys did a lot of that single hand shooting where they just hold that gun straight up there. And as you see, I couldn't really do that. My shoulders, I think I told you, too many shoulder exercises. But one thing about this pistol, the accuracy depends 100% on the shooter because these guns are so accurate and so flawless when it comes to target competition. It's the shooter. So this shows the shooter's ability 100% because that pellet goes straight on down there. There's no question about it. I love the trigger. It's fully adjustable. You can even make it much lighter. I think we tested it. I can't remember what it was, but it was 2 pounds or something, but it was pretty light. But fun pistol. That's the cool thing about the Rare and Unusual series is we get a chance to look at stuff that was around years ago. And these, like I know the Feinwerkbau 65 was just a clone of. That was very popular in the 60s for the Olympic pistol competition. So. And you know, as the years moved on, they got out of that and they got into CO2, PCP, and now it's pretty much just all PCPs because zero felt recoil on those as well. There's just no recoil on those. Anyway, this was really fun to shoot. Anyway, again, I'm going to plug Mike. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to show this gun off because it is pretty cool. There's no question about it. Hey, he might even be willing to part with this. I'm going to send this back to him. So if this is something you're interested in, give him a call. He might be able to part with this one. I'm not sure, but anyway, it would be worth asking if it's something you're interested in. So anyway, again, I'll leave his phone number and email address below. But don't forget, this is the Rare and Unusual series, and what we do is once a month we feature an air gun that is rare or an unusual. And we will do that indefinitely until I run out of material to show you. And that's not going to be for a long time, I can tell you that right now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Airgun Detectives. Don't forget, this is where we take the mystery out of the airgun. Until next time, I hope you and your families are doing well and you're getting plenty of shooting in. So take care and God bless.